What's up, y'all? It's T-Turn. Today we're gonna be looking at some of y'all's theory for the Indigo disc, which we think still might come out this year. We gotta see. It's been a while since we did this. Here we go. Low-key T-Tar, based on your videos and the definitive importance of Glimmora, and even the distinctive physical similarities between them, what if the Peach Pokemon is some sort of Glimmora form? Okay, so yeah, Glimmora and our current hint at Dokutaro, they both have the little dark eyes, and this actually relates to a cool riddle where we don't know how this image Pokemon gave us for Dokutaro is colored. You know, I kept seeing those holes as a pig, but Ku acknowledged a kind of coloration of it where they are yellow, which further makes it closer to Glimmora. So it's got like the same eyes and they both appear to be related to the poison type. So it brings up the idea of whatever we think Dokutaro is, maybe it's like the Diancie amongst the Glimmoras. It's like the big parasitic version of them that's trying to drain Terra energy. You know, because Glimmoras and Glimmets, it seems like their entire species was born relying on Terra energy. So much that they start to look like them enough for its Pokedex entry to acknowledge it. So you know, what if Dokutaro is a mutated Glimmora? Or the other way around, where Glimmoras are like little remnants of Dokutaro's power that after sucking on Terra energy, they've just taken the form of these flowers. Which, you know, that hypes up Dokutaro, which that's not even its name. It hypes him up to be like massive. You know, it almost creates this complex of us having Terrapagus, who's peacefully minding his business, and then kind of like the Terrapagus hunter, which is Dokutaro, and then this whole family of Glimmoras. You know, almost makes him like an anti-Terrapagus. So Glimmoras hunt Terra energy, and in the same way, Dokutaro, to get its hands on Terra energy, gives the Loyal 3 their toxic chains and sets them out to retrieve those Ogerpon crystals. The only thing that stands out is there's no shot Pokemon would elevate Dokutaro to that high a position. At least nowhere near Terrapagus's equivalent. I mean, when does this ever happen in Pokemon? It'd be a first, but the more you think about it, you can find reason to believe that Dokutaro might be a massive deal. And if so, you know, they've hidden it from the trailers really well. You know, I guess off the top of my head, to make the two kind of like counterparts, it would go something like this. Let's say Terrapagus is this kind of dream Pokemon that tries its best to realize people's desires, like a positive energy. So if the Paradox Pokemon were fake, it made them real out of the books, maybe made the Herba Mystica so Pokemon that eat it get the health they wanted back, and then terastallizing, you know, maybe bringing out a Pokemon's desired typing that they wanted. If you look at Terrapagus as like the positive dream bringer, you can almost make Dokutaro the negative one. Like Dokutaro can bring life to dreams as well, but it needs Terrapagus' supply to do it. So, you know, you think about the Loyal 3. It was a stupid monkey, a wimpy dog, and I guess an ugly bird. And being this negative dream bringer, it's like it used its toxic chains to bring their dreams to life. And maybe he's bringing out Kieran's inner desires too, except he would do it in an evil way. And this like aftermath of Dokutaro always hunting Terrapagus crystals to make its own selfish needs become a reality could be the Glimmoras and Glimmets, where even though Dokutaro is no longer around, they're still after Terrapagus's crystals. It's a weird theory I've had in my head, but something felt off. What do y'all think? By the way, there's this cool art with Ogerpon with the toxic chains. So can you imagine, it wouldn't happen in the Indigo disc, but at some point when we return to Paldea and they have fun expanding the lore, if they introduce this evil version of Ogerpon, where I guess it's a grass poison type and it can't use the masks anymore. Director Clavel has a peach framed on the wall in his office. The whole game is about finding your treasure and achieving your dreams. The Dokutaro Pokemon represents what happens to those who fall short. A literal bitter poisonous fruit that corrupts bitter people into becoming evil. Well, that's a different outlook on it, where it's only granting dreams to people who have fallen short. Like it can only give the next best thing. So, you know, the original Pee-wee Loyal 3, maybe they failed at something, gave up on their dreams, and then Dokutaro went up to them and was able to tempt them. That's pretty cool. Same thing happened with Kieran, right? He really wanted Ogerpon and he really wanted people to trust, but when both of those fell short, he got tempted by Dokutaro. Damn, is this the Pokemon devil? Oh god, is that the peach? Bro, that's not just a picture of a peach. He has an actual peach framed. What is all this? What if every 200-ish years something happens and a Glimmet and Glimmora turn into Dokutaro? Because that means Dokutaro's secretly alive in all the Glimmora until it resurrects. Ooh, what if Dokutaro is a paradox version of Glimmora that feeds on crystals to stay alive? This would work and also go with the theme of the game. But the issue is, it sounds like it'd be from the past whether you're playing Scarlet or Violet. But it would be cool if, like Crichton and Miraidon, who are really called what? Winged King and Iron Serpent, if Dokutaro was a third paradox legendary that was just given a normal name. I don't see enough people talking about the motivations of the poison Momotaro Pokemon. Why is it after Ogerpon's masks? Also, what if it was this Pokemon that made Turo and Sada lose their minds? See, this is weird. Most of what we've read about Area Zero and Tropicus doesn't sound like it makes people go crazy. See, we got a few hints, like in the books it says, the crystal's powers is tremendous. Their unstable output made our corporate backers fret. And then how they're eating into the research station. But overall, it seems like Tropicus's crystals are harmless. So if you try to imagine why Sada and Turo went crazy, it's not far-fetched to think there was another factor. Like we had this little Momotaro's influence. But I don't think that's the case. I think with Sada and Turo, it's the classic crazy scientist. I mean, I would be a freaking crazy scientist if I was figuring out time machine crap too. It is a fun idea to think that maybe the real reason behind them dying in that Koraidon and Miraidon attack is because something like Momotaro involved itself. But I think they just saw like the crazy potential in these crystals and never wanted to leave. They just wanted to keep working on stuff. Just as you said, Dokutaro could poison the desires of people instead of actually mind controlling them. And that's its way of getting what it wants. Yeah, it's much more fun that it's tempting, like for example, Kieran to the dark side, rather than that he's just mind controlling Kieran. So here's the question, why do they keep hiding their noses, Kieran and Carmine, as if there's something suspicious on their face? Because even at the end when he's tying his hair, they still don't show his face. I don't know. I couldn't tell you why it's so important they covered their nose, but the grandpa exposed his nose to us. I don't think there's anything special under his nose. I think it's just freaking Game Freak's character design team. Unless he got a tattoo. His sister and him got matching tattoos that hide it from their grandpa. So why he really tied his hair is to show his grandpa he's rebelled. Though, you know what, dudes? I think there's a proper shot that this image is only a piece of what Dokutaro looks like. You know, I want him to be this troublemaker stealing Tropicus shards for his own benefit. I don't want him to just be a floating head. And I think since he was only supposed to be teased in the first DLC, that they only put his head here, even though the other three, they showed their whole body. But, you know, when looking at that signboard, which should be a nice reflection of how things are in the Pokemon world, since Momotaro is shown as a Pokemon, I guess so far as of now, it makes the most sense that it is just a face, a head, and it tempts people onto their side. And I guess whoever has Dokutaro in their party effectively is the Momotaro. And yeah, make sure y'all shank that like button and let me know your thoughts. Do you think Dokutaro is essentially corrupting Terra crystals that it finds into this poisonous form and grants wishes using that power, which is how it grants the toxic chains? I got more theories of my own to share next video, so I'll see y'all there. Take care.